Good evening, good evening, good evening, YouTube viewers and Facebook Nation. Good evening to all people, all colors, all races, all languages around the world. Good evening to everyone. Today, we're doing something a little different. That's why I greeted as far as good evening instead of good morning. This is a different page, but it probably will show up within your subscription. But this is a different page. It's a little bit different from Morning Motivation. And this page is dedicated to the people of pure light. So today's topic is going to be stand firm, and in parentheses, the lines have been drawn. And the reason that I've created this channel is because people of pure light are experiencing the same thing, and we're going to get into that within the topic. They're experiencing the same thing. The drive, their calling, everything within them is the same, and the message is the same. It's to bring people to an awareness of consciousness that there's something that is existing upon this earth that is unhuman. And whether we're going through, trying to enlighten people through religion, or through trying to prove it scientifically, or, philosophically, we're all coming about it in that one way. So these, we understand that pure light is here. But the lines have been drawn, and we're going to get into that. So today is a new day. It's different from any other day. And for those with pure light, we've been called forth. And we've known this throughout our lifetime. And, we've come from, like I said, we come from all different walks of life, struggles. We fought light. But there was one thing in why we were called, because there was one attribute that each one of us possessed that we never gave up. And this is why we were called. So I just want to say to all the kings and the queens out there, who we all share the same message. We all do things in our different way. We all reach people, and we all, make an impact in any circle in which we encounter, in which we go through. I want to say, thank you so much. And that's the reason why I don't post videos day in, day out, because I'm satisfied, because I'm hearing the same message. I'm hearing it, I'm feeling it. And even to, the women who do the relationship, and that's a small off to the side of the mainstream of what light is. But there's also, women out there and a few men out there who, they try to educate through, relationships and how to be better people. That is a form of pure light as well. And I want to say that, I support you too. I mean the ones that are true and the ones that are pure light. And they know who they are, because I will always acknowledge them. So, and that's very few. Like it says, the road is wide for, loose conduct and everything that, everything that goes, do it as thou wilt. That road is wide, but the path for, pure light is so narrow that very few find it, because the path of unjust is so wide. So many of us are finding out also that our dreams are similar. And I'm doing this because last night I had a dream, and the dream was I was standing where I grew up when I was young, in these apartment complex where I grew up. And it was, I was trying to explain to someone that, like, hey, not only is, the world getting bad, but, the earth is crying out too. And it's taking hold, it's acting out as well. And, the person was like, oh, get out of here, get out of here. And then all of a sudden, it was a tornado. And it just, the sky was clear, it was a sunny day, and that tornado just came, and everybody started running and screaming. I didn't run. I didn't do any of that, because I know that I've been called. Just like those that have been called to pure light, we understand now, because our eyes are open, that we're not from here, that our kingdom is somewhere else, and that we belong to a kingdom which exists of the Most High. This is why we're here upon this earth, and it took us, years to come to an awakening. But we went through the brainwashing. So we understood that, this was going to be a part of what this entailed. But also, we also understood that, there's the possibility of imprisonment, there's the possibility of, losing our lives. But I'm going to get into that, because I want to share something with everyone of pure light, because only people of pure light will understand what this video is all about. So, this for the people of pure light is not for general audiences. But if you are a pure light, then you'll get this. And if you are a pure light, you don't have to ask me. You don't have to leave anything in the comment, because you already understand. And more than likely on this, I'm not going to answer it, because those who know will know. So, to get back to the hurricane, so the hurricane comes through, and it just wipes out, like, maybe, I'd say, like, maybe a half a mile in front. I'm watching it just wipe out the land in front. And I'm still there. People are running around and they're screaming, and then here comes another one. And these are places where hurricanes and tornadoes never happen. Well, yeah, we've had two, but they're very rare. And I think the last one was like back in 2010, and I think that was Bridgeport, Hamden, if I'm not mistaken. So they don't happen that often, and they weren't to the magnitude of the ones that I've seen. They were coming one after another. And to hear another content creator say that, he had the same dream. He woke up in the middle of the night sweating. I did the same exact thing. This is why I know. And also I can hear other people through their content, and I can feel it. And that's one of the things about Pure Light, is that we're finding one another to find out that we are not alone, that we've been here, and Enoch told us this. So let's get into this. So for the people of Pure Light. Okay, so let's get back to this. Many of us are finding out that our dreams have similarities. And although we come from different backgrounds and social status, we understand that our lives have been chosen, knowing that there is a calling, one in which only pure light can comprehend. In the beginning it was confusing, but as we found our way, just like where another content creator who I follow, who has Pure Light, he spoke about the times where he was in church, and he would ask questions because he read the Bible word for word. He understood what was in what he was reading. And when he would challenge it, it was like he would be cast out from it. I share that I share that. So this is why I know that, when I listen to what and how he, puts out the word, I know that this person understands exactly what it is that he's saying. Not only does he understand the Bible, but he also understands other historical documents as well, affiliated with the Bible. So he understands, as well as people with light, of where thought processes come from and how people come to the belief systems in which they believe. So pure light doesn't just come to you on a religious realm. Pure light is something that understands all human consciousness, so it can see things in real time, something that we all are capable of, but we've all, the world has been blinded, and we're going to find out how the world has been blinded. So I want to get into today's quote, and today's quote is from the book of Enoch. And the book of Enoch was originally part of the Bible, part of the original Bible, but up until maybe 500 years ago, 600, 700 years ago, they decided that, they put that in the apocryphal realm, a reference to the Bible. But the book of Jude is quoted almost word for word from the book of Enoch. But so this is chapter 1, verse 8. And this is to the people of light. This is what I want for us to understand. This goes into why do we stand firm. We stand our ground. But he, meaning the Most High, he will make peace for the righteous, and he will keep the chosen safe. Now, when you hear that word, the chosen, he's not talking about everybody, his chosen people that are upon this earth. He's talking about a select few who will be born that could not, the world could not influence their brain, the capacity. And I'm going to explain, I'm going to get into what it is, again, that attribute that we possess throughout all of our ups and downs in life, the one thing that we kept that made us get this calling, that made us to become that chosen group. So I will continue. And he will keep them, and he will keep the chosen safe, and mercy will be upon them, and they will all belong to the Most High, or God. And he will prosper and be blessed, and the light of God will shine on them. Isn't that what's happening, people of Pure Light? Isn't this why we're being attacked? Because our light shines so bright. It shines so bright that we attract people who don't even know us, have never even met us, and they're shaken by our light. So we know that we have pure light, and we know what we're up against because the lines have been drawn. So for my people who have been called, we are coming together from all races, all languages, and all colors. Yes, the Most High has a people. Yes, he does. He has a people who he calls his own. Now, yet, the Most High has love for all of his creation. That's something that we can agree on. God didn't make any, the Most High didn't make any mistakes. So everything has a purpose upon this earth, from what we see and from what we don't see. So everything has a purpose, and that calling has to come from all people, from all races, all languages. So I never take away from the chosen people. But I also try to, this is why I'm into religion and given religion, because we all serve a purpose. So this is my calling, to say that how these things intertwine with one another. So the Most High has love for all of his creation because he created creation with a purpose. Okay? So I'm just trying to keep track of it so I can give it to you. So brothers and sisters of Pure Light, not one of us are holy or without sin. None of us. Not me. I never claimed to be. Never. And I will never step back to say that I'm holy. But I do know that I have a calling, and that calling goes from outside of myself and is coming from within, which has changed me and is constantly changing me into becoming into pure light, is what I feel. So those who have that pure light out there, they can understand this also. Yeah, we hold on to truth. Now that's the attribute that made us get the call. That through all of our sin, through all of our up and downs, through all of our chaos, no matter how we got to this point to where we are, where now we're being called, we held on to truth even from a young age. That was something that was uncorrupted within us. Anyone that has that pure light understands this, that they've always remained true. This is why when someone does something wrong, or somebody, does things that don't make sense to us, it affects us deeply, because we can't understand it. We can't comprehend those things. And this is where pure light comes in. So now you know who you are as a person and as pure light, and where you're going from this point forward, because each one of us has a message that we have to get out there. Each one of us has a mission that we've been brought onto this earth in order to fulfill. So it is our unwillingness to compromise our truth. This is the reason in which we have received the calling. It is under this calling that now the Most High has placed a blessing and protection from what is to come. So what's to come is bad, and it's directed at people of pure light. They're coming, and they're coming in every kind of way. They're going to hit you financially. They're going to hit you gossip-wise. They're going to hit you slander-wise. They're going to hit you through family. They're going to hit you in so many different places that sometimes you're going to feel overwhelmed. Because remember, when to get back into the scripture, count that all joy. Count it all joy, because the devil don't need to go, evil doesn't need to go after evil. It doesn't. So if evil is constantly coming at you, hitting you like a storm, you know that you're chosen. And that's where you have to do like Enoch said, and trust in the Most High, that your light is going to shine brighter. Ask that your light shine brighter, because nothing, if you want anything on this earth, then you have bypassed everything that you asked, you gave up in order to come to this reality. You gave it up to come here, to change it, to see what could be drawn out. Just like how Noah wanted to go out and deliver to people and say, hey, there's, we can go back to where we came from. We can go home. Whereas Lot said, hey, come on, come out of here. We can have something that's better. Come out. And we've seen it through all history. Jesus Christ, same thing. Come on, come out. Every prophet, come on, come out. There's a different way. The Most High's way is the right way. And each person was persecuted. So we're no different. So we have to be prepared, and do not hold on to material things. Do not put anything that's material before you, because this is what they're coming after. This is the only thing that he got, because again, this is his world. This is a material world based upon his rules. So like the good sister, Dr. I won't say her full name, but I say the doctor part. Doctor, she put it in layman's terms that, Babylon is the lines have been drawn, and Babylon is falling, and, that evil is there, and we need one another. But we also have to find common ground in order to stand ground. But until we can find that, until we can find that common ground to stand ground, we have to continuously stand our ground, knowing that even though we're apart, people of pure light are wide distances apart, that we are all part of the same one mind, the God body. So, we have to continue to trust that, for me to have, encountered the people that I have encountered through YouTube, to find that people of pure light, I know that I'm not alone. And I know that my message will continue. I know that your message will continue. And we continue to support one another. So let's go further. So many of us have come to see true evil. We have come to see true evil, and we are seeing more of it. This is only the beginning. So we understand also that, we may be being watched, which when you have pure light, you are being watched. When you have pure light, you're going to have drama come from out of nowhere in your life, because the devil is an angry person. He's angry, and these evil spirits are angry right along with him, because remember, the floodgates have been opened. They know it's war now. It's no more sitting back talking about, hey, in the future, the end's going to come. No, it's now. It's now. And this is why this calling for the people of light is coming to be, and this is why people of light now are being shut down. So, they're getting watched, they have drama, possibly people popping up from your past to throw you off of your, off of your calling. You got negative energy that's around you, problems just arising from nothing. And for content creators, you have the trolls, that come in and they want to cause problems in your site. All these things are not people. We have to stop looking at this as human beings, because we have to understand that possession is real. Possession has been around since the beginning of time, and it's still here today. And if a person is empty inside and they leave just a spot for one of those entities to jump in, they're going to jump in, and they're going to drain that person for everything that they can drain from that individual. So we have to realize that, we have to look like what Jesus Christ has said. We have to look beyond people and say, Father, forgive them. for they know not what they do. They don't know what they do because they are not doing what's in control of themselves. They have opened themselves up to something which we know what they've opened up themselves into. So this is what's coming at you. So you're not confronting the person. So, don't show anger to the person. Feel for what that person is going through, because what's inside of them is going to tear them to pieces and won't let go unless they ask the Most High to release them. And most of them won't do it. So, which brings me back, before we end, which brings me back to Enoch. And I'm also going to speak on the Apostle Paul, because as we just said, the floodgates have been opened. This world will never be what we see today. For every demonic spirit has been called forth against not only the Most Highest people, but all good, truth, love, peace, mother, brother, co-worker, and best friend. It is not discriminating in who opens themselves up. So, don't be surprised, but also be surprised, because at the end of the day, we're realizing that people, when those lines were drawn, people chose a side. They chose a side. And that's the only the only position where you can look at a person to say, this is the choice that you made, and it's only up to the Father to forgive you for the choice that you made, but I can't help you because you've already made the choice. And this is why we say, walk away. You can't help everybody, walk away. So many of us, we already have the suit of armor out of the chapter of Galatians. We already have that suit of armor, because we would not have been called without it. Without that suit on, we have all those attributes all at the same time. Many people don't have it, and that's because we held on to truth. Truth encompassed all of those attributes. So this is why we have pure light. Most don't. So we have that suit, but that suit can also be broken. So this is why, again, people of pure light stand firm no matter what comes at you. So because our status has always been high upon the Most High, because remember, people, we asked to be here. So for those of pure light, we know that we asked to come upon this earth to make a change. So we know where we came from. We know where we're going. So in the truth, we will suffer. Some will be in prison, some will lose life, because Satan the devil has been cast down like a roaring lion seeking to devour, because his time is up. It's up. And not only does he know it, but the people who have served him know it also. So they're going to make us pay in any kind of way that they can. So find comfort, brothers and sisters, kings and queens, those of light, pure light. Continue to speak and uplift and educate, because this is what we were called upon to do. But we must stay true to it. The message is greater than wealth. The message is greater than anything that's material. And if you go away from that, then your blessings dim. So stay true to the message. That's more important than anything else in the world. That's what your calling is for, and that's what you're protected under. No more, no less. So we know that Satan has come down. He's out of time. So we're going to find comfort, and we're going to continue to speak, no matter the price. Because remember, your kingdom is not upon this earth. And for all who attempt to stumble you, they must answer before you in the court of the Most High, because you will be seated right amongst it. And you say, well, how can you do that? There's a scripture in the book of Enoch. I did chapter 1 verse 8, but in verse 9 it says that he's going to send tens of thousands of his people to come to wage war. We might just be one of those tens of thousands who have come to wage war, but we were already here on earth. So we have to know that if he could send us, then we had to be in his court. We had to be up in the upper realm in order to have asked to come here in the first place. So for all people who have did it. So now other people, all the people you see on earth that have done it, but how many survived? How many wanted to make this place their home and implanted it as being their home? So only a few make it back. So this is our test in order for us to go to the next stage, because our reward is greater with the Most High than it is upon this earth. And when we left from the Most High to come upon this earth, our reward was already greater. So we did this out of love for the Most High, to say that, hey, maybe we can make a difference down there. And that's what all of us, our calling is all about. So I just wanted to get that in, and for this new channel, which is a message to the people of pure light. Have a great day. We have a lot of work to do, but at the same time, the message is there. We're all saying the same thing. People are waking up, but we also have to be wary of ourselves. Not be wary in a sense of being afraid, but being wary of that it's up to us to be aware of what our surroundings entail, because evil never sleeps. And believe me, as we do this, it's thinking of a way to come at you in some way, shape, or form. So stand firm to all the kings and queens out there. So for all men, women, children, all people, all colors, all races around the world, good afternoon, good evening, and have a most beautiful night, and have the most beautiful day in the morning. May peace and blessings be upon you.